So God has been teaching me about, well, my lesson now is about the houses that we live in. And I remember when I was getting my house and I wrote down everything I wanted on the house. And maybe about, I had real estate agents checking for me to find these things. And I remember maybe about a year and a half after I wrote it down, because my landlady wanted to raise the rent. I said, I'm moving. And after a year and a half about after writing it down, I was coming home from work one day with my daughters, and God said to me, go and check this person. This is a woman I had not seen for years. For years. I grew up with her, but I hadn't seen her for years. And I went to check her, and when I went, I saw a sign for sale, and it had the figure on it. So I took it off and I called the number, and he said, there are a lot of people before you, but you can come and look. So I said, okay, fine, I'm gonna go look. So I went to look. The Sunday I was waiting for my fiance to pick me up, and I heard read the article in the Gleaner. There was a real estate article. When I reached there, the man was talking about it, but nobody else, out of all of his people who were there, nobody else had read it. So I was talking to him about it and stuff. We finished looking at the house and we left. And I remember when we reached a little down the road, he was saying to me, don't set your mind on the place because the man said you're not going to get it. And I said, that man can say whatever he wants because God promised me that house. So when I got home, the helper said to me, don't plan on the man's house because the man said you're not going to get it. So I said to her as well, I said, you and him and the man can say whatever you want, but God promised me that house. There was a woman next door where she come out and she said, okay, I'm gonna lock up my house now, and I don't pay any mind. God promised me that house. So anyway, a week after I was at work, a week later I was at work, and the helper called and she said to me, the man called and he said for some reason, no, he said I was to call him. So when I called him, he said for some reason, of all the people I had here, nobody can come up with the down payment. So if you can come up with it, it's yours. So my husband had some money in an account. It was my fiance at the time. And I said, okay, I'm going to join him with it. I'm going to put him in it. You understand? Because I worked in a financial company. I could have gotten a loan or whatever. And I put him on it. And we got the house. Now, I am in a position now where the house is supposed to be sold and stuff. But God showed me that when I got the valuation done, because when I got the valuation done, the guy said it was for, I think it was 12 point something or 10 point something million. And I said, okay, fine, I took that. And God showed me some houses, I think about 2 days ago. And these houses were smaller than mine. They were joined and all of that. Mine is not joined. And they were selling for like 15 million, 16 million. And I'm saying, God, how? And God said, my husband, put his spirit into the valuator to devalue the house. And that is what I was going to accept, because I kept asking him, aren't you going to sell the house or give me my half? And he refuses. Anyway, God has put me in a position now where I have to look for somewhere to rent, because he took me out of the rental system when he gave me my house. Now he has put me back there because he wants his people to know. So apart from the scamming and the lies that these witches tell, you will go, God will show you somewhere, and you go there and you tell the person you want to get the house or whatever. They put their spirits in someone else to go to that same person and tell them, I want to view the property, and they put insects with spirits around the property to block you from it. So when you call the landlady or the person renting the place, they will put their spirit in the person to say it is not available anymore. Now they put their spirits into people at the real estate company to say it is under contract or it has been rented or whatever. I've seen a few of those. God said they're empty. Now they follow you around, because for each house that God sends me to, I see my husband's bird. His bird follows me, watches me, and when I leave, they put their spirits into somebody to go to the person. So when people are looking and saying they can't find anywhere to live and this and that, it's because their enemy is blocking them. They will tie up your funds, because every time you're supposed to put some money together to do something, something else happens. You get sick, they mess with something on your car, whatever it is. Where you are living now is loaded up. They have loaded it up to attack you, to block you. They don't want you to move. The only place they will allow you to get is a place where they can continue the attack, continue the torment. Now God has shown me as well that there are men who are doing it, who are renting out their places to his people. And they're attacking, because from you let in one, that one lets in others. So it's not one person attacking you at night, it's several of them. And God wants us to come to him. He wants us to let him guide us. When we're looking for somewhere to rent, when we're looking for somewhere to buy, because they will go after us and tell these people they want to view the place, to look at the crevices and the cracks where they can put in insects, because once she let them in or he lets them in, only God alone can get them out. And you are moving into that place means they are going to attack you. Now God has given me an anointing to feel when the houses belong, when they're being rented and they belong to his people who have clean hearts. Because I am sure that these areas that he sends me to, they have other people who are Christians who own homes. But I only feel the ones who have clean hearts. And this is why it's important for us to keep a clean heart. God can look out for you if your heart is clean. Now, we have to be careful of what we say when we go to God. God showed me a property, and the woman called. And when the woman called, I told her I was going to call her back. I couldn't find the number to call her back. And this was like the Monday. By the Thursday, I'm saying, God, where's the number? God says, cut and clear. When I cut and cleared, the number appeared. The number was not there. I called every number that called on that day, and it wasn't her. The number appeared. God said they put spirits on the phone to hide the number for me to not get that place. They scammed me and used the money to rent the place. One day, God sent me over there. Well, they told her they were going to rent it. God sent me. God said, drive past the house. And I drove past it. He said to me, say the 23rd Psalm. I know that whenever I drive past somewhere and spirits are involved, he says, say the 23rd Psalm. So I did that. Another day, I'm passing. He said, drive past the house. He said, cut and clear. And I cut and cleared. The next morning, he woke me up, I think about 5 o'clock or 5:30. He said, send her a message and tell her you want the place. And the woman said to me, oh, it is rented from the last time you called. Now, 2 days before, God sent me and told me to look at the place, because he was showing me what was going on. I looked at the place by the time I sent her the message. I don't know if it was my enemy's spirit in her body or it was just her that had a lying spirit. I didn't ask God, but I know she said to me, it is gone. God said to me, tell her she's to be careful of what she says and does when she comes to me, because people don't realize that God sees everything. He knows everything. Even if he does not say it to you right away, he knows. And it's gonna come back to bite you in the butt You understand? He wants us to live how he wants us to live. He's going to bring it back to you. He's going to tell you, I told you to do this and you did not. No, he told me that this woman is going to go through a dark passage. And I am the one he's going to use to help her. And yet this woman is saying, oh, it's gone. Knowing that her place is empty, she said, it's gone. I don't fight my battles by myself. And we have to know ourselves when we are Christians. If we cannot control our spirits, every other witch is going to come in and control it for us. And God is going to hold us accountable, because we have to know that we have to control our spirits. You can't have everybody jumping into your body and telling people this, telling people that. What if they decide they're going to destroy you? You're going to allow it to happen? We have to be able to control our spirits. Ask God to tell us when these spirits are in our bodies. Ask Him to help us to get it out, because they don't mean us any good. Now the journey continues, because he's still showing me places and stuff. He tells me, leave a note here, leave your number here, whatever it is he tells me. He will show me people. He says the gates of hell shall not prevail. He uses me to help them, whatever it is. You understand? But we have to remember that God gave us these properties. God gave us these properties. Now, I spoke with a real estate person today, and I told him the valuation that was done on my house and how much it was. And he said, oh no. He said it's over $18 million to do a valuation in that area. So this man wanted me to ask him, okay, give me a half of the money for the house, and then he would get the rest. Because a half, with that valuation that he put his spirit into the man to do, would have been $5 million. I am doing it God's way now, because he has brought me back here, because he said he needs his people to know. So I am doing it God's way now, and I know that there will be no breaches. Because what they do is they take your money, they take where you're supposed to go, then they start to create problems with the landlady or the person who rents you the place. They will put their spirits into that person to come at you, knowing that they took the place that you were supposed to go. We have to pray for everything. We have to pray without ceasing, because this attack is not simple. It is not simple, but God is the only one who can help us. The only place these witches will allow you to go without God's guidance is where they can continue to attack you. God is trying to get you out. You cannot allow them to keep you in that position. You cannot. Pray and ask God. God knows. God knows everywhere that is being rented. He knows every person who owns these places. Pray and ask Him.